City! I am so thrilled to announce to you all that I am running for mayor of New York City. And most recently, I launched a presidential campaign that not too many people were calling for before it happened, but turned into a movement with millions of Americans rallying around universal basic income and a new economy that works for us, the people. That campaign, too, was made possible by the support I received right here in New York.
That's right.
So it is here in New York City that my passion for uplifting people, for wanting to move our country forward, got started. And now that we are facing this historic crisis, I am aiming to unleash and channel that energy for a human-centered economy right here in New York, my home. I'm running for mayor for a very simple reason. I see a crisis and believe that I can help. Over 25,000 New Yorkers and counting have died from COVID. We need to make New York City the COVID comeback city, but also the anti-poverty city. As mayor, we will launch the largest basic income program in the history of the country right here in New York. We will lift hundreds of thousands of New Yorkers out of extreme poverty, putting cash relief directly into the hands of the families who desperately need help right now. This is the type of move that our city leadership must make in this pandemic. Cash relief is literally the difference between a family eating and a family going hungry. It's the difference between being homeless and having a roof over your head. 2 years ago, no one would have fathomed Congress would ever directly send tens of millions of Americans around the country money with no strings attached. But last year, our federal government sent $1,200 to tens of millions of Americans, and it helped stabilize families and the economy. And $2,000 more may be on the way, New York. Calling for a vote on the $2,000 stimulus checks, which Joe Biden just endorsed, should be one of the first moves that new Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer makes. I believe that our movement, the movement we built together, spurred that cash relief. And I'm proud to make New York City the example for the rest of our nation to follow. New York City always felt like the center of the universe. I grew up an hour north and came into the city with my brother whenever I could. In 1996, I moved to Morningside Heights. I went to my friend's shows. I was in the Garden for Larry Johnson's 4-point play.
Mets or Yankees?
Let's go Mets.
Knicks or Nets?
I'm sorry, Knicks, but you've been too bad for too long. I came of age, fell in love, and became a father here. Hey guys, thank you. My wife Evelyn is from Queens. Both my sons were born at St. Luke's.
Papaya King or Grace Papaya?
Grace Papaya, the champ. Eventually, I became a CEO. I started a nonprofit. Hello. President Obama named me a champion of change and an ambassador for entrepreneurship. I ran for president because I saw that the economy was not working for everyday Americans.
60% of small businesses are shutting down.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Seeing my city the way it is now breaks my heart. What happened to George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and so many others, it's beyond injustice. It's inhuman. We need to realize Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream of a guaranteed minimum income and get cash into the hands of people who need it most.
Hang in there, help's on the way.
We'll bring New York City into the 21st century by getting everyone high-speed internet so our kids can learn.
Hire more teachers and reduce the class sizes. I think that would make a big difference. It's hard, you know, when you have a class of 30 kids.
We'll take back control of our subway.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
We'll create a people's bank so it stops being so expensive to be poor.
Your advocacy for universal basic income is so critical. The surest way to end poverty is to put money in people's pockets. It's that simple.
We'll reopen intelligently to revive our incredible culture. Maybe we can even save the Knicks. New York City has been my home for 25 years. It's Evelyn's home. We're public school parents.
Hello! I like that you out in the street, that you out and about.
I'm running for mayor for my 2 boys, for you, and for every New Yorker.
We're glad we're going to work for you.
Thank you. Let's fight for a future New York City that we can all be proud of.
Universal.
Yeah, definitely. You can never lose with that, man.
That's how I figure, right?
Brownsville, man. Needs a lot of love, man, in the community.
I'm thrilled to be here, and it's really Latrice Walker who invited me, and I feel great!
Hey, are you running for mayor?
Yes, I am!
Good luck, okay?
Thank you, appreciate you.
Take care. We got you.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's
Hey, Latrice, listen to me. She's so proud of you.
Well, let me tell you, like, you know.
I am so excited to be running for mayor of the greatest city in the world. And I'm running because we're in the midst of an historic crisis and I believe I can help. I love this city. I lived here for 25 years. My wife and Evelyn and I are public school parents here. And what's happening right here in the city, we can see it around us with the storefront. Thousands of small businesses have shut their doors. Many of them may not reopen. All New Yorkers, and I said the other day, everyone loves New York. Even if you're not a New Yorker, you know a New Yorker, you've been here, you have family here. Everyone needs to come together and try and get the city back on its feet, and that is why I'm running for mayor.
Fun people, I understand.
Yeah, where are you in this field, Latrice?
I am not running.
And anytime I see the Trump name on something, it has bothered me even before he ended up inciting a riot that took multiple lives in our nation's capital. So at a minimum, we should be excising Trump's name so that New Yorkers do not have to see it and think that somehow he's associated with our city in a public way. How long have you had the dog?
25th.
Oh, that counts. That's close enough. I mean, heck. Well, you know, the great thing is that, like, city officials are looking at it right now and saying, okay, for example, let's say there's you know, a hospital or a property that might have the Trump name associated with it, then you go to that hospital or the board and say, hey, like, you know, we think that it might be great for you to potentially remove that name and replace it with another name, and, like, let's examine who that might be.